Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Edric Show. I am your host, Edric Jerome. This is the place for intelligent conversation with interesting people. Go ahead and hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. You'll get notified when I post content each and every week. I want to welcome back a very special guest, a gentleman who's doing a lot of great work here in Solano County, Mr. Anthony E. McDonald. He is the executive director and founder of Leaders of Men Incorporated, a nonprofit that's dedicated to focusing on teaching leadership and development skills to young men. And he's here today to talk about their upcoming second annual men's conference scheduled for Saturday, January 11th in Fairfield. Anthony, welcome back to the show.
My guy, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing
Right.
well. All the best to you and your family. Happy holidays to you, man. And
Appreciate
always
you,
a pleasure talking with you. So
sir. Yes,
good to see
sir.
you. Good to see you. Let's get into it. So uh, first of all, let me say thank you to you and your team for all the great work you guys are doing around Solano County. So let's start out by telling me about Leaders of Men Incorporated.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show again, man. I super appreciate you and I respect you, man. I like your style, brother.
Thank you,
You-
sir.
And so Leaders of Men is our nonprofit, like you said, and we just want to instill the leadership into our youngsters, and not just young men, young women, because everything we talk about it applies to young women. It seems like we just don't have an opportunity sometimes because people think that it's just for young men, but respect is for everyone, right? We lead with respect no matter who you are, right? So the more opportunities we get, the more we can get people to identify us with young women and young men because it's just leadership, and it's just we focus on respect. We focus on self-respect, which is the biggest key. Not just in yesterday's world, but today's world, teaching our youngsters about self-respect, self-boundaries, self-love, self-care, that it's got to start with you. You know what I mean? You have to lead with the respect and don't worry about everybody else. So I like to think it's some good things. And we also focus on mental health, which is super important. Um, Myself and I'm quite sure you have been through some trials and tribulations. And the first thing people will tell you, hey, toughen up, get over it. You know what I mean? And so we like to get youngsters to say, well, this is going on with us, and this is why we have our teen summits and our mental health events. I want youngsters to come out and speak. Here's the microphone, man, or a young lady, tell me what's going on with you, and then how can we help, right? And then how can we surround ourselves with our super friends, which is our NAMIs and behavioral health, and to say how can we help? So I know that was a lot. So
No. And that just leads me to my next question because you've been doing this for a while now. And what are some of the things and some of the ways that you've had to adapt with your organization? Because it seems like the challenges of young people maybe today are probably different than they were even maybe 2 years, 3 years ago.
right. Well, I tell you this, and my wife, she says, don't worry about them because a person told me one time, he says, you should only focus on this, right? What you do, your core is the teaching respect and self-respect and self-management. But it seems like this past year, 6 years, we just made 6 years. It evolved because, it's the evolution. The more you do something, the more you like, wow, we need to be doing some of this. We need to be doing some of this, so because it's a need, it turns out that you can't teach a young person about the self-respect, the respect and self-respect when they've been traumatized and hurt and they got the world on their shoulders. And so the first thing you got to do is to get them to believe in you, to did you listen to what's going on with them, right? And it's empathy and understanding, right? And then it's giving them an opportunity to say, hey, this happened to me. I was bullied. I was, peer pressured, whatever the case may be. And them to get comfortable with you in order to share that with you, right? And so I think we have evolved because we're doing more of the mental health, and then now we apply the self-care, right? You know, we're taking the suicide preventions, right? How can we, first aid responders? How can, I'm taking the domestic violence among teenager classes. I'm taking the drug and alcohol amongst teenager classes, so I can recognize what's going on, and even that's kind of just scratching the surface, because just dealing with the one young man who his father got killed, and he's mad at the world. This He don't want to hear nothing from. He got the look on his face, you know what I mean? And so, but the good thing is that doing those things that I just shared with you got him to bring the wall down. You know what I mean? And just connecting with our youngsters. And this is not the day to say. Remember what they used to say? Youngsters should be seen, not heard.
Right.
That's bad. That's a bad thing. So but I think we have grown in so many ways. We are not staying in the box. I don't care what people say. You
Heard
know,
that.
yeah, I want to do reading empowerments, youth empowerments, entrepreneur empowerments. Even with our men's conference coming up, I want to talk about how can we be better fathers and better husbands, and be better partners with each other. How can we be more of a resource to each other? So yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about the second annual men's conference, man. Congratulations. I got a chance to attend it last year. I'm going to be there this year. So
Yeah.
what can people experience when they come to the second one?
Well, the first thing, you're going to be on the microphone, because you didn't take the mic last year. So if you can grace us, with who you are and what you do, we want to give everybody, like last year, we want to give everybody 5 or 10 minutes to share, like yourself, who you are, what you do, what you offer the community, right? In that sense, we also want to give other people, because you're a guest, I want to give you, 5 to 10 minutes of that. But other people that's in the audience, we want to do pass the mic, 2 minutes. Once again, tell us who you are, but it's a quick 2 minutes though, but I want people to be heard, right? I want to hear from our young men that's in the audience. We do have a guest speaker, our keynote speaker, Dr. William E. Young, retired colonel from the Air Force, also cybersecurity, does cybersecurity. So I'm super excited about that. I got a chance to meet with him at my church. Super sharp OG. And I just want to make sure we have credible people like yourself there, right? I want to make sure that, same thing as last year, you look around that room, you can find anything, uh, any something that you're going through in life, doesn't matter what it is, somebody in that room has been through it, or is going through it, and can say, hey man, I've been through that, whether it's prostate cancer, whether it's financial literacy, or trying to get your veteran services, or whatever, once again, how to be a better husband. Man, my wife is tripping, how do I handle that? You know what I mean? And us teaching them that, we changing the narrative. Happy wife, happy life. No, 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 man, no. We got to change the narrative, because it's the self-respect and the self-love. So we got to go happy spouse, happy house.
Heard that.
Right? I
Yes,
got to
sir.
be happy too, right?
Yes,
What I'm
sir.
saying? So we want to make sure that we tell other men that, who's like, man, this marriage stuff is crazy, or we want to talk to young fathers about jumping ship. You know what I mean? You got one kid and or two kids, and you probably lost your job, or you're looking for work, or you at the dead end job, or you're trying to start your career, and you got your wife over here, and she kind of on your neck, and you got the world on your shoulders. And I want the men in that room to be like, hey, calm down, take it one at a time. You know what I mean? And we pace yourself. It's not a race, right? And because I had to teach myself, I had to teach myself to calm down, take it one by one, right? No man is perfect. We don't have, nobody really got the blueprint. I grew up with my father, so I didn't have the blueprint. I pieced it together. Me and you had the conversation. We were able to piece it together. You know what I mean? But I think it's too much of that. It's too much of having to piece it together instead of it's right there in front of you.
Hmm.
You know, And so when we're talking about 360 degrees men, those are all of the things we're talking about, not just in how can we be a resource to each other in business, but in personal. Man, can I call you? Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I just want to just leave. I just want to this and that, and we got to understand that our sons and daughters need us. They need us. I mean, they really, especially in today's world, right? But now we can flip the script to where it's because we need them. Technology is crazy nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for my son and my daughter, I'd be lost. So I want to bridge the gap, man. You guys, the youngsters meet us here, and we meet them there, and we can learn from each other. And that's why I'm hoping mothers, grandmothers, aunties, if you raising young men, please bring them.
Excellent.
Fathers,
Excellent.
fathers, yeah, fathers, bring your sons, grandfathers, and uncles, and cousins, and nephews. They should be in that room. No color line, no financial line. We're not trying to one up each other or look at me, look what I'm doing, or look what you do. No, it's how can I be a resource to you? Job opportunities and career opportunities, and those things. I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell, man.
Oh yeah, man. No, and you should be. You should be because one of the things I really like and respect about you is that, just on a personal note, you're very open and candid about your own life experiences, which gives you that cachet to go in and talk to these young men. Um, Quickly about your life, what was it about or what experiences for you caused you to say, "Hey, I got to make some changes. I got to turn some things around to put you on the way to becoming the man that you are today?"
um, Two things. One, my mother always said, respect yourself. And when you go outside, you represent me. She didn't say your last name. She said me, which is her. Don't ever let somebody come and tell me what you're doing in the streets, and I don't know first. That's one thing. So it always made me carry myself a different, you know what I mean, to have respect for myself. Whether it's the way your hygiene, the way you dress, the way you conduct yourself in any situation, those things. And then as I became a man, what really helped me was my children because I cared what they thought about me. You know what I mean? I know how I felt about my father, and I didn't say I didn't respect him for what he did, but once again, he didn't show me anything. I wanted to flip that. I want to be an open book for my children. You know what I mean? I cry in front of you. I show you how to take care of the house inside and out. You know what I mean? Going to fix a fence or it doesn't matter what it is. It's once again 360 degrees men. I'm vulnerable in front of my wife. You know what I mean? I want to be the man for her. I can be strong, for her, but sometimes we all can't be that. You know what I mean? And you got to be. I guess it's called being, transparent. You have to be that. Teddy Pendergrass said 70-30, 60-40, 50-50 love, right? And then you turn out Michelle Obama says, talking about Barack Obama, he can't give me 50% every day. You know what I mean? And she's
Hmm.
like, I can't give him 50% every day. So we gotta work together and we gotta just be there. But I think with our children, though, they have to see every part of you. They have to see every part of you. Because if they going through something in their life and they don't know how to handle that situation, and the first thing they're gonna think about is mom and dad. How did mom and dad handle it?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm not depressed or sometime I'm tripping or sometime my daughter said that or my wife says it's your delivery. Hey man, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? But for me, it's my children. I care what they think of me. You know what I mean? That's kind of the biggest thing right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I follow you on social media on Facebook, man, and you and I share an affinity for something that I think gets overlooked as men. We both love to cook, man.
Oh my man.
Man. So where did that love for cooking come from, and what do you get out of preparing meals for your family?
Uh, First of all, I get everything out of it. But where we came from, I told you I grew up in shelters. We ate at soup kitchens. We lived at the Salvation Army. We lived, El Cajon in San Diego. We were in the car living. Mom $5 fed five of us.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? She knew how to do that. And so which she instilled that in me and my brothers and sisters, right? And so I always said that when I grow up, I'm gonna cook, and I'm just gonna you just take it as you go. I wrote a book. I shared it with you last time, The Big Black Man, Food, Family, and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And different cultures, it's all food. In when we celebrating somebody's life and death, we cooking food. When somebody's getting married, we cooking food. When I'm going through my depression stuff, man, I just get in the kitchen, I start cooking it. And my wife or my daughter go, Dad, what are you making? I don't know.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can go in the refrigerator, or my wife's like, there's nothing in there. And I come in there and boom, I got a 7-course meal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then people online, they be like, man, you cook too much. Okay, I don't think there's a too much. You
You
probably
can't
never.
cook too much, man. You
Yeah.
can't cook too much.
We come from deviled, what is it? Deviled ham. And
Underwood deviled ham.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah,
man.
nobody
My mom used to call it potted meat.
pardon me. That was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I come from there, man. I come from mayonnaise sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? I come from syrup sandwiches, man. I come from that. And if anything, my children are not gonna know that. They're not gonna. I can tell them, but they won't have to eat like that. You know what I mean? And my mother did the best she can. She was my hero, my shero. You know what I mean? We didn't go a day without eating. You know what I mean? And we probably
Mm-hmm.
didn't have what you wanted to eat, like our children now can pick and choose. You know what I mean? Or dad's in the kitchen. I know it's going to be A1. But it's not going to be no oxtails or no goulash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they don't know what the goulash is.
Right.
The ground beef, the corn, and the rice, and the beans all in one pot. You know what I mean? So I think it comes from there, man. But then, a couple of years ago, before my uncle passed away, he told me about my grandfather's brother was a world-renowned chef. He was cooking in Madison Square Garden when they first opened up. He himself was a great baker. He loved
Mm.
to bake, And then my other uncle, my mom's brother, my uncle Sidney was on he was what's the ships, and he was the chef on the ship. You know what I mean? And then my father was an amazing cook, Jamaican dude, and he'll cook oxtails and jerk chicken and everything, curry chicken. Pops cooked everything. So that's probably where I kind of get that from. So yeah,
Man. Real quick, what's your go-to meal, man?
everything.
Everything. I heard
Oh,
that.
well, nowadays it's oh my God, it's buffalo chicken. Not the wings though. Not the wings. It's you cut up the chicken breast and you put them in the seasoning, and then flour them up, fry them for a little bit, and then put them in the oven with the sauce on it.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
my daughter and my daughter been going crazy. She like, Dad, that's your stuff. And now also it's a turkey sandwich with the avocado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
man. Yeah, I
So,
see you. I see you.
yeah.
I see you. Oh, for sure. For sure. Let me get the particulars about the event that's coming up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up. So it is the Leaders of Men Incorporated second annual men's conference. It's going to be Saturday, January 11th from 1 to 3 at
Yes, sir.
1000 Kentucky Street in Fairfield, California. The keynote speaker is Dr. William E. Young, retired colonel from the United States Air Force. Everybody's invited. Bring your family, bring your daughters, your husbands. Just we're going to get together and just have conversations and have some truth told in this place. So I appreciate what you do, Anthony. As I tell you all the time, whenever I see you all over the place, man, keep doing what you're doing. It's much needed, and I just really like talking with you, man, and having those conversations.
I appreciate you, brother, and thank you for the opportunity, man. And I love what you're doing too, man. You're always smooth, dog.
All right, on. Thank
You're
you, man.
always
Thank
smooth.
you. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you once again. Thank you for the opportunity, and hope to see everyone there, man. No color line, no financial line. We just coming in and coming together. And I like what you say. You're inviting the women. Please, ladies, come support your man. Please, ladies, bring your young man.
Hmm.
Those things. I think men should be in that room. So I appreciate
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Brother Anthony McDonald, Executive Director and founder of Leaders and Men Incorporated, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the Educ Show. I really appreciate it.
it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. One love.
One love. This has been another edition of the Educ Show. As promised, intelligent conversation with interesting people. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. You'll get notified when I post content each and every week. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next episode.